Hi.
Guys.
How you doing?
How are you?
What's going on, man?
Everything's good.
Hi. Drop the hammer.
Nope.
Hey.
What is going on right now?
This clip shows the brutal moment when David Depape brutally attacked Paul Pelosi. A jury has found David Depape guilty on 2 counts in the violent attack on Paul Pelosi, the husband of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, last year in the couple's San Francisco home. Depape was convicted in federal court of 1 count of assault on the immediate family member of a federal official, with the jury determining that he used a dangerous weapon, and a 2nd count of attempted kidnapping of a federal official. He could face a maximum sentence of 30 years and 20 years on the charges, respectively. In court Thursday, Depape had no visible reaction to the verdict. The conviction followed high-profile testimony from Depape in his own defense and from Pelosi, who recounted publicly for the first time the night that he was bludgeoned with a hammer and the difficult recovery that followed. The harrowing October 2022 attack sent shockwaves through Washington at a time of rising threats against public officials, raising fresh concern over violence driven by increasingly hostile political rhetoric and partisan animosity. Congressional lawmakers reflected at the time on their safety as fears of political violence remained heightened in the wake of the January 6, 2021, U.S. Capitol attack and other incidents targeting members of Congress in recent years. Then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ultimately factored the attack into her decision to step down from her leadership post. In a statement released after the verdict, Nancy Pelosi's spokesman said the California lawmaker and her family are grateful for the outpouring of prayers, adding that Paul Pelosi has demonstrated extraordinary composure and courage in the courtroom this week. Still, given the ongoing state court proceedings, the Pelosi family will not be giving further comment, spokesman Aaron Bennett said. Prosecutors claimed that Depape broke into the Pelosi's home with a violent plan to kidnap Nancy Pelosi and to hold her hostage. Depape's attorney, Jody Linker, conceded on the first day of the trial that her client was the one to attack the 83-year-old Paul Pelosi, but argued that his motivation for the assault did not match the charges against him. This case here is about the why. The why matters. This case is about whether David acted because of, on account of, Nancy Pelosi's duties as a member of Congress. He didn't, Linker had argued to the jury. And he only struck Paul Pelosi in a quick moment of despair because the police arrived and his larger plan was thwarted. Testifying in his own defense on Tuesday, Depape gave jurors a closer look at his motives before the attack, becoming emotional at times as he shared examples of conspiracy theories he felt were true. Depape recalled that he was focused on Nancy Pelosi and that her husband, Paul, was not on his list of targets. He was surprised and confused, he testified, when he found out that the Congresswoman was not home. "I'm telling him, I have other targets, but if you stop me, I'll go through you," Depape said, recounting a conversation with Paul Pelosi, adding that he then reacted and hit him in the head because his plan was basically ruined. In his testimony, Pelosi recounted how he awoke from sleep the night of the attack to see a man with a hammer in his home. That man, later identified by police as Depape, asked where his wife was. He said, "She's not here. She's in Washington," Pelosi recalled answering. He later came to in a pool of blood after being violently struck in the head following a struggle with Depape, Pelosi said. Pelosi, who underwent surgery to repair a skull fracture and injuries to his hand and arm, told jurors that his recovery has been difficult, with spells of lightheadedness and headaches. "I've made the best effort I possibly can to not revisit this," he said.